Thank you PCBWay for sponsoring another project video.
Alright guys, so welcome back. Once again I want to thank PCBWay for sponsoring another project video. Those guys have been so great to me. First I need to apologize the way I sound and the way my shop looks. This is all temporary. My new home that I'm moving into hopefully in like, I don't know, half a year or so is being renovated. We moved out of our old place. Anyway. Oh, look at this guy. This is the guy that I'm going to be working with. This is my Sky Collection rotor. And I first 3D printed a core for it. It's got a huge core. And it works okay, but I thought, no. Something like this is going to need something more substantial. So I reached out to PCBWay, and I was going to do aluminum. Then I thought, no, let me do nylon. So for this, I've got, let me put this down where it's not going to. Here you go. Let's see what it looks like. I haven't even opened it up yet. Normally I'd crack this stuff open. Or let me move the camera down here so you guys can see. Normally I'd crack this stuff open before I even do it. So there's no surprises. But I thought, what the heck? These guys have always been good to me. PCBWay, if you ever want something 3D printed or CNC machined or laser cut or, I mean, anything, these guys can do it. Oh no, do I have a knife on me? Dagnabbit, let me pause the video. Alright, usually I have all the stuff I need with me, but I'm out of my element here. I got a little corner of a garage that my dear friend is loaning to me. Alright. Let's see what we got. Let's put this guy over here. Put this guy right here. Okay. It's really light. I went for a nylon that I've never tried yet. I believe it's the nylon with the PA something mixed with it. I forget what it is. But I know that it's going to be black. Come on. There it is. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. Came out beautiful. Pretty hard. I think this will work good. What do I do with that beast? Oh, here it is. I think it will work good inside here. So let me get this apart. And I got to build. I 3D printed a new. I 3D printed a new stand like this. Here's the sides of it. And then I've got different lengths of these guys here. This gets caught like that. And then I have another one here. And I have a cap that goes on there that screws in there. The bearing goes in there. And we'll get it together. But it's going to take me a little bit because I got to figure out what's going on. So stay tuned. All right, so it's slow going because I don't have a lot of room. So this base, what I normally put in the bottom here is a BB, but I don't have a BB, so I put an upside down screw in there. And that'll work because it'll just, the shaft will sit on top of it. I was going to try to make this a maglev. I'll have a bearing in there. Shaft will go through. I'll have this guy in there with the piece that I got from PCBWay with bearings on both sides of that, and she'll float just like this. I Can't even tell if you guys are even seeing this. It'll float like that. This is a piece of plexiglass, 1/2 inch. Ugh, it's so hard working in such a small space. Well, I got to be grateful that I'm even getting this space. Anyway, stay tuned. So I got to tell you, just to get to this point was painful. But it looks pretty good. Right on in there. I got to put the little BB in there, or the upside down screw. Fits perfectly too. I didn't size it correctly, or I made this too big, but anyway, I don't need all 3 legs tied down. I just need the 2 tied down. It's pretty sturdy. At least I'm hoping that's what it's going to be, because this puppy is pretty heavy. This guy is pretty heavy. And so, I don't know if I told you last time, but you got these magnets that are in a V. So this is north, that's north. So it creates a super pole. So super north, super south, super north, super south, all the way around. And where's my PCB way part? Oh, I have to finish working on that. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, so here it is, all set up. I've got the nylon core that I had PCB way make. And they did a really good job too. That thing came out perfect. It fit absolutely perfect. And I have some spacers up here because I have a bearing there, a bearing there, a bearing there, and a bearing down there. And this rod is sitting on top of a, can't really see it, it's sitting on top of an upside down screw. So there's almost no friction at all except for what's on the bearings. And of course the upside down screw. This is a 1/2 inch acrylic base. I only mounted the 2 side ones. I didn't mount the end ones because it doesn't really need it. Now I just have to figure out what bearings, what coils I'm going to use. If I'm going to do a dual or a single. So I got to think about it. But it came out really, really good. And then next, I'm probably going to do this beast. It got damaged in the move. You can see I don't know if you can see it, the magnet got chipped out a little bit, which kind of pisses me off because these are really expensive magnets that I got from Total Element. Oops. So let me get this guy down here like that. Okay, that's not good. Put it like that, that'll work. All right, my little corner shop here with my other big one. I can't spin it because of the wood here, but that's okay. This is the very first rotor I had PCB way make. This is aluminum. Came out great. All right, so let me get the coils hooked up and we'll see what we can see. Stay tuned. So really quick before I get it all set up, I love it when I do happy accidents. So I made a cutout in this. Let me see, you can't really see it. Let me get down here. I made a cutout in this upright brace, and I made it for aesthetic reasons. But it turns out it's going to work out perfect because I can slide this coil in here and then run a bolt through the other side to clamp this up here. Happy accidents. I get them all the time. I also get I also get unhappy accidents. Yeah, Batman. Some guy on TikTok calls me Batman. I guess because of my voice. I don't know. I find it funny. He's a cool dude. He wanted me to upload some STLs for him, which I gladly did. I'll help anybody who wants to get involved in this hobby. Anyway, let me take this apart again get those mounted somehow with like either a bolt or a flathead screwdriver. Or, I mean, I could come from this side in there, but then, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I got to take this base off of here. Anyway, let me get it all set up and I'll bring you back. Ciao. All right, so I'm going to have to get some brass bolts for this because this is iron and it's, you can hear it going tick, 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 because it's being, these super poles are picking up that, yeah, they're picking up that bolt. And what I really should do is cut that hole bigger so that can slide all the way through. I really want to get it going, but I don't want to get it going like that. You hear it? You probably see it. Yeah. Yep, don't want to do that. I want to do this right. So stay tuned. All right, ready for the first run. So this is the Sky Rotor with the super poles because the magnets are facing out like this. This is a laminated coil. I don't know how many laminations. I think I counted or I estimated about 250 or 300. Inside of here is the PCB way core, which came out beautiful, but let me fire it up. This is not a self-starter. That's at 7.9 volts. That thing is flying for 7 volts. So on camera, the lights are pulsating, but in person, they're solid. Woo! Let me turn it down a little bit. There you go, there's 3 volts. Let me shut it off. So that thing goes nice. I have to fix this thing though. I can see what's going on here. It's a little bit tilted. Let me fix that and I'll bring you guys back. What I want to do is I want to try some different circuits. I want to try a Hall circuit. With a Hall circuit, it'll self-start. But with this JL94 dual circuit, you got to give it a push. So stay tuned. There we go. There's 8 volts. Let's turn it up. There's 11 volts. She is flying. 12 volts. Back EMF is really a lot. I mean, it's streaming out of those lights there. That's a little bit too crazy. Let's turn it back down to 8 volts. 7.6 volts. So I've only got one side of each of these coils. I could use the other side to run it through a bridge rectifier and see what kind of power I can get out of that. I have to get a bearing though to put in the bottom here. That the screw's not working out too good. Here, let me turn that down so you can actually see it. There you go. She's riding off the tape. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, see, if I hold that and just let it run on the bearings inside the rotor, it doesn't make that noise. I got to change out that screw for a ball bearing. I don't have a ball bearing. I have a ton of them, but they're all packed away. Ay, ay, ay. The PCB way nylon core is holding up really nicely. It's a nylon with PA something in it. I forget what it was called. It's like a nylon with carbon fiber in it. All right, let's see how low we can get it going. There's 4 volts. At 4 volts, I don't get any back EMF spikes. All right. I got to go pick my friend up from the airport. But it's looking good. What I want to do is connect the other side of these coils to maybe my little light setup here. I got this little setup here that I made, 3D printed out housings for it. Got the negative side and the positive side. Anyway, all right, stay tuned. All right, so let me get the camera set up over here. So I've got the Beast running on the dual circuit JL94. Both of these coils are bifilar coils. This one has its pickup going to this bridge rectifier out to these 2 other lights over here, which is really weird. That's why one of the sides is not lighting up, because all of it's coming over here, I think. Unless I just don't have the connections right. I've had a hard time with the connections. But anyway, yeah, that's looking good. 9 volts in. Let's see if we can. There's 12 volts. And now those lights are like a solid color now. Yes, looking good. Let me get my trusty, and see what kind of output we're getting on the DC side after it's been rectified. I don't want this one. Do I want this one? Let's see. Looks like it's 100. Can't really see with this one. I got to get my better one. Anyway, it's putting out plenty of voltage. Not a lot of current, but plenty of voltage. What I'll do next is I will, that's running on 12 volts. I raised it up too, and I better supported the 2 coils. Yeah, that's working really nice. Going to the bridge rectifier, lighting up the dual lights. Let me bring you back after I make one change. Hold on. All right, so I've got 8 volts coming in, and it looks like through the bridge rectifier it's putting out about 130 volts. I could turn this to amps, and it will tell me, I guess that's, I don't know what you call that. Anyway, let me get it back to the voltage. Oops. 90, 100. So 8 coming in, so it's doing pretty good. Making a lot of noise though, because I don't have a BV to support this guy. So if I just stop it, it works just as well. It actually works better. We've got both the lights on the output of the circuit itself, about 125 volts DC rectified. Yeah. What I'd like to do is see if I can run one of my other pulse motors off of this beast. So I found out this guy's from a annual flux motor or a radial flux motor. I forget which one. I think it was the first one. But yeah, it's working really, really well. Thank you to PCBWay for printing out that core for me. I have no worries about the core not holding up to its end. What I'm going to do though is change this top support to hold this so it doesn't spin. Because it does spin very slowly, but there's no BB down there. If there was a BB down there like I normally had, it would spin a lot faster, but because I don't have all of my tools in my temporary, I was going to say pathetic, but it's not pathetic. It's really nice of the guy to lend me this little corner of his garage. He's got a lot of stuff going on in his garage. Holy mackerel. He's got, that's a killer bandsaw. Oh my God. But he's restoring this Porsche, building a toolbox for his grandkid. Anyway, I think we're good right now with this right here. I've done just about everything I really wanted to do with it so far. I'm going to do some more stuff with this, but for now, later guys.